You think it'd be a short archery video today? My archery range is closed. Look. Urban forestry work. There's my excuse. My poor range. I'm so glad. I'm grateful to Metro for taking care of this archery range. That said, I'm not gonna get shoot any arrows right now. Thinking Chinook Landing, maybe? Yeah. Before I leave Washington Park, though, I just wanted to do a little bit of exploring here on it's called the Mac Trail. I'm looking for the old zoo train tracks. Look at this wonderfully built bridge over this little gully. It's so beautiful here. I see this enormous grassy field down the hill. I wonder if that's where the zoo train picked me up. Look, up there above the trail, a wall. This seeming wall continues on its quiet little path just above this Mac Trail in Washington Park. Trail grows tantalizingly closer to the tracks. I found them. I found the railroad. This is so exciting. These used to take kids to the zoo. These tracks go down to that elephant exhibit thing, little weird building behind that giant playground where I parked. That's where these tracks are going. Doesn't play stand by me. We're going right down these tracks now. Just the like of this. Look at this. Look how unobtrusive this trail is to the environment. These rails, abandoned in 2013 for no purpose other than to pave these things over. Pave these things over. They're perfectly serviceable. Get this tree up off of here. Trains could be running kids to the zoo again from this giant ass parking lot that already exists right here, instead of paving the whole way through. You want your bicycle access? Here. Level AF. We have a special car made that's got a bicycle rack on it. Just stash your bicycles right there and wait for the zoo train to come by, take you all the way from this elephant exhibit all the way down to the zoo stop on the Max. This is the most level way across the West Hills if you care. Stand by me. Here's the wall I was standing on. Just listen to me huffing and puffing. Since 2013, this track hasn't been getting any love, and there's no reason for it. Look, it's 5/8 scale, look. It's right here. It's abandoned in Washington Park, the most beautiful park in Portland, Oregon. Look, right here. See? The rail gauge bolt. The rail gauge bolt isn't even rusted out. I've worked on tracks for the Union Pacific that are worse than this. This is still a perfectly gauged rail. Let's see down there. Where's my car? Down there is where I parked. That's about level. Look, the track just sweeps around and goes into this gold. I wonder if there's a trestle in this gold. Okay, yeah, you can see how the hillside gets a little landslidey here. Look, and they've taken care of it. Here's this retaining wall. It's still holding. But so much life is left here. No trestle. It looks like a culvert's under there. But then the track sweeps back out along. I think this is Kingston Drive up here where I was just at. Look, You can see where people have just walked the tracks. This is a historic landmark. This is a historic site. Look at all the overgrowth. And these tracks are still viable. You just clear out, you stay nice to the environment. Why pave a huge trail? Look at this. This is amazing. Imagine school children learning about this. I got a straight shot of track here. Seriously though, it's just Metro versus Portland Parks and Rec or something. I'm not sure what's going on here that's keeping these rails abandoned. There's rail equipment in the zoo. I can hear it every day when I'm out at the archery range. Hear that steam whistle on that steam train. Y'all don't know what that does to your girl. Or maybe you do. Now the tracks are curving around the next hill, and this is so convenient. Right there. There's my car. If I'm at all worried about the belongings in my car or anything, well, it's a sprint down the hill. Imagine my murderous ass coming for messing with my car. Here I come off the tracks. Look, there's wonderful opportunities for community art exist here. My word. I mean, your palate awaits, my community. Okay, here's the great big berm embankment that they made. Kind of pockets that little draw there. But it goes on down. There's this, there's some flowing water. Uh-oh. That's a whole total of 2 trees that are down over the track so far. Here's some odd stuff. There's a fence. And, this is, okay, it's still a beautiful forest, Linda, but this is getting a little trauma-informed. Just look at how beautifully these switch points are being kept. I cannot even with this. How I dreamt while I was working with the UP, dreamt of points this solid. Okay, we can see that this is just a stub track. It really was meant to end right here. I think we're just keeping equipment right here, maybe. Anyway, here's an access trail to that I am not walking through. We can see the other track that this stub track joins is fenced. It looks like they used to keep some valuable equipment here or something. There's the station. There's the station. That's where I first stepped foot on the zoo train when I was 14 years old. My feet were so much smaller the last time I stepped on this platform. There. Now maybe I can go to Chinook Landing since the archery range is open there. Rosalinda loves you. And now that my tears are dried up, you can see the stairway that used to take people up to the train station that's up there. It could stand to be a little more ADA compliant. Man, that was a heavy hitter. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Chinook Landing today. Maybe the range being closed here was just Artemis telling me time to take another day and reflect on what's to come.